step into cultivated sleep, your haven for serenity and intellectual revival. Here, we invite you on a special expedition, merging the tranquility of peaceful moments with the abundance of knowledge spanning various subjects and themes. Before we dive into the captivating realms of wisdom, let's pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and exhale. With each breath, let the world outside gently fade away. Allow the muscles of your face, forehead, eyebrows, lips, and chin to unwind. Feel that serene relaxation flow down your shoulders, along your spine, and all the way to your toes. In this peaceful sanctuary, we believe that the pursuit of knowledge should be a harmonious experience. So, as we explore diverse subjects, take a moment to discover your inner calm. Join us on this enchanting journey, where the whispers of wisdom seamlessly intertwine with the melodic tones of relaxation. Now, let's embark on this journey together. Breathe in, breathe out, and let the cultivated sleep experience unfold. World-changing philosophical ideas. 10 of the most famous philosophical ideas throughout history. In the twilight of antiquity, where myths danced with shadows and gods held court in celestial realms, a seismic rumbling emerged from the heart of ancient Greece. Imagine the ancient agora, a dusty tapestry of thinkers and dreamers, where the air hung heavy with the scent of intellectual ferment. It was here, in the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, that the first sparks of an intellectual revolution ignited, forever altering the course of human thought. Picture Thales, a maverick philosopher gazing across the Aegean, daring to question the very fabric of existence. Water, he whispered to the winds, was the essence of all things. His audacious departure from the myths that had ensnared the collective imagination marked the birth of philosophy, a journey into reason and observation, a quest to unveil the mysteries of the cosmos. As the echoes of Thales' ponderings reverberated through the agora, so began the odyssey of human inquiry. Anaximander and Pythagoras joined the symphony, weaving threads of thought that would become the tapestry of Western philosophy. The ancient world, once shackled by mythical explanations, was now on the cusp of a profound transformation. Yet, it was not only the birth of philosophy, but the birth of a new way of seeing the world. These thinkers, these seekers of truth, were crafting a legacy that would transcend the epics, leaving an indelible mark on the very fabric of human existence. The impact of this ancient wisdom was not confined to the marble columns of Greece, but would cascade through the corridors of time, influencing the minds of Plato, Aristotle, and beyond. So join me as we embark on a journey through the ages, where ideas are not mere abstractions, but living entities, shaping the destinies of civilizations and echoing through the annals of history. It is a journey into the heart of philosophy, a journey that begins with the birth of reason in the ancient Agora. One, ancient wisdom, the birth of philosophy, 6th of 5th the century BCE. In the dusty streets of ancient Greece, circa 6th to 5th century BCE, a group of thinkers embarked on a revolutionary quest to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos. Thales, Anaximander, and Pythagoras, among others, sought to replace mythical explanations with reasoned inquiry. Thales, daring to look beyond the realm of gods, proposed that water was the essence of all things. This departure from the supernatural marked the dawn of philosophy, sparking a relentless pursuit of truth through observation and reason. The impact of this philosophical birth was profound. It laid the groundwork for a new way of thinking, challenging the prevailing narratives of the time. The shift from mythos to logos became a cultural watershed, setting the stage for the intellectual flourishing of classical Greece and influencing future generations of thinkers. Two, Socratic method and ethical inquiry, 5th century BCE. Enter Socrates, a luminary in the Athenian Agora, who elevated philosophical discourse to new heights. Armed not with dogma, but with the potent weapon of questioning, Socrates engaged in the Socratic method. This relentless inquiry sought not to provide answers, but to stimulate critical thinking and self-discovery. Socrates' ethical inquiries, challenging the moral fabric of society, ultimately led to his trial and execution. Plato, Socrates' disciple, immortalized these dialogues in his philosophical works. The impact of the Socratic method reverberated through time, influencing the likes of Aristotle and becoming a cornerstone of Western philosophical pedagogy. Socrates' sacrifice, far from extinguishing his legacy, fueled the flames of intellectual curiosity that continue to burn brightly today. Three, cogito, ergo sum, Descartes' Cartesian dualism, 17th century. Fast forward to the 17th century, an era of seismic intellectual shifts. René Descartes, a French polymath, sought to construct a system of knowledge immune to doubt. In the famous proposition, cogito ergo sum, Descartes declared that the act of thinking itself was irrefutable evidence of one's existence. This foundational idea marked the birth of Cartesian dualism, separating mind and body and laying the groundwork for modern philosophy. Descartes' rationalism became a guiding light for the scientific revolution. By emphasizing reason and mathematical logic, he paved the way for a new era of inquiry and discovery. The impact of Cartesian dualism extended beyond philosophy, shaping the trajectory of scientific thought and influencing subsequent philosophers like Spinoza and Leibniz. Four, Enlightenment ideas, Voltaire, Rousseau, and the social contract, 18th century. The 18th century ushered in the Enlightenment, an intellectual awakening that championed reason, liberty, and progress. Voltaire, a fearless advocate of free speech, used his pen as a weapon against tyranny and injustice. His works, including Candide, became manifestos for the pursuit of knowledge and the rejection of dogma. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, in his seminal work, The Social Contract, presented a radical vision of a just society based on the will of the people. This idea of a social contract, an agreement among individuals to form a collective authority, laid the philosophical groundwork for modern democracies. Montesquieu's concept of separation of powers further fortified these ideas, shaping the political landscapes of Europe and the Americas. The impact of Enlightenment ideas reverberated through revolutions, inspiring the American and French revolutions, and leaving an indelible mark on the formation of democratic institutions. These philosophers, with their pens mightier than swords, illuminated the path toward a more just and enlightened society. Utilitarianism and the Greatest Happiness Principle, 19th century. Enter Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, architects of utilitarianism, a moral philosophy that aimed to maximize happiness and minimize suffering. The Greatest Happiness Principle, rooted in the ethical calculus of pleasure and pain, provided a utilitarian framework for evaluating actions and policies. Bentham, with his pragmatic approach, argued for the greatest good for the greatest number. Mill, in refining utilitarianism, recognized the qualitative differences in pleasures and championed individual liberties. The utilitarian idea that morality could be grounded in measurable consequences had profound implications for ethics, law, and politics. Utilitarianism's impact can be traced through the annals of social reform, influencing movements for workers' rights, education, and healthcare. The utilitarian lens continues to shape policy debates, challenging societies to grapple with the ethical implications of their choices. Six, Marxist dialectical materialism, 19th century. Amidst the industrial upheavals of the 19th century, Karl Marx emerged as a revolutionary thinker. Dialectical materialism, a fusion of Hegelian dialectics and materialist philosophy, viewed history as a series of class struggles. Marx's magnum opus, Das Kapital, laid bare the inherent contradictions of capitalism and prophesied the inevitable proletarian revolution. Marx's ideas ignited revolutions across the globe, from the Russian Revolution to the rise of socialist movements. The specter of communism haunted the corridors of power, challenging established hierarchies and inspiring social movements. While the practical implementations of Marxism varied, its influence on labor movements, political ideologies, and critiques of capitalism remains omnipresent. Seven, existentialism and the absurd, 20th century. The 20th century, marked by world wars and existential angst, gave rise to existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. Sartre's proclamation that existence precedes essence underscored the existentialist emphasis on individual freedom and responsibility. In Being and Nothingness, he explored the complexities of human consciousness and the burden of freedom. Albert Camus, in his exploration of the absurd, confronted the inherent meaninglessness of life. The myth of Sisyphus posited that the only response to life's absurdity was to rebel against it, to find meaning in the act of defiance. Existentialism permeated literature, philosophy, and the arts, challenging prevailing notions of meaning and purpose. Existentialism's impact extended to psychology, influencing thinkers like Viktor Frankl and shaping the counterculture movements of the 1960s. The existential quest for authenticity and individual meaning continues to resonate with those navigating the complexities of the human condition. Postmodernism and deconstruction, 20th century. As the 20th century unfolded, postmodernist thinkers like Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault challenged the very foundations of knowledge. Derrida's deconstruction dismantled traditional hierarchies of meaning, revealing the fluidity and instability of language. Foucault, in his critiques of power structures, exposed the ways in which knowledge is intertwined with social control. Postmodernism's impact rippled through literature, art, and academia, reshaping the understanding of truth and reality. The rejection of grand narratives and the embrace of plurality and ambiguity became hallmarks of postmodern thought. Postmodernism questioned not just what we know, but how we know, inviting a re-evaluation of established norms and values. In the realm of architecture, postmodernism led to a departure from modernist aesthetics, fostering a more eclectic and contextual approach. The impact of postmodernism continues to reverberate in contemporary discussions on identity, representation, and the nature of knowledge itself. Feminist philosophy, the second wave, 20th century. Amidst the social upheavals of the 20th century, feminist philosophers emerged to challenge entrenched notions of gender and power. Simone de Beauvoir's groundbreaking work, The Second Sex, deconstructed the societal construction of femininity and laid the intellectual groundwork for second-wave feminism. Beauvoir's declaration, "One is not born, but rather becomes a woman," became a rallying cry for the feminist movement. Simultaneously, bell hooks explored the intersections of race, class, and gender, expanding the feminist discourse to address the multiplicity of women's experiences. Feminist philosophy became a powerful force for social change, influencing the fight for reproductive rights, workplace equality, and the dismantling of patriarchal norms. The impact of feminist philosophy extends beyond academia, shaping cultural conversations and inspiring movements for gender justice. The ongoing struggle for equality owes much to the intellectual contributions of feminist thinkers who dared to question and redefine the status quo. 10. Environmental ethics. Aldo Leopold and the Land Ethic, 20th century. In the mid-20th century, as industrialization accelerated and environmental concerns reached a crescendo, Aldo Leopold's land ethic emerged as a clarion call for ecological responsibility. In his seminal work, A Sand County Almanac, Leopold argued for an expanded ethical framework that included the land itself as a community to which humans belong. Leopold's land ethic emphasized the interconnectedness of all living things and the need for a harmonious relationship between humanity and nature. This idea laid the philosophical groundwork for the modern environmental movement, challenging anthropocentric views and advocating for the preservation of biodiversity and ecosystems. The impact of environmental ethics is evident in the evolution of environmental policies, conservation efforts, and the global awareness of ecological crises. Leopold's land ethic continues to inspire a new generation of environmentalists, urging humanity to rethink its relationship with the natural world. As we stand on the precipice of the present, gazing back at the footprints left by these world-changing philosophical ideas, we find ourselves entwined in a tapestry woven from the fabric of human thought. Each idea, a luminescent thread, has guided us through the labyrinth of time, shaping the intellectual landscape of civilizations and whispering truths that echo through the ages. The birth of reason in the ancient Agora, where Thales dared to challenge the gods and Pythagoras sought harmony in numbers, set in motion a journey that transcended epochs. The Socratic method, a symphony of questioning that echoed through the marble halls of Athens, became the guardian of critical thinking, leaving an indelible mark on the foundations of education. Descartes' declaration, cogito ergo sum, echoed through the scientific revolution, casting a brilliant light on the path to understanding the universe. The Enlightenment ideas, penned by the likes of Voltaire and Rousseau, ignited revolutions and laid the groundwork for the democratic ideals that pulse through the veins of modern societies. Utilitarianism, with Bentham and Mill as its heralds, became the ethical lodestar guiding societal progress and justice. Marx's dialectical materialism fueled revolutions and ignited the flames of social change, shaping the destinies of nations. Existentialism, with its exploration of freedom and the absurd, became a mirror reflecting the complexities of the human condition. Postmodernism, deconstructing truths and narratives, reshaped the very fabric of knowledge and reality. Feminist philosophy emerged as a clarion call for equality, challenging systemic oppressions and reshaping societal norms. Aldo Leopold's land ethic, born from environmental concern, became a rallying cry for ecological responsibility, influencing the environmental movements that strive to preserve our planet. As we reflect on the journey from Thales to Leopold, from ancient Greece to the 20th century, we find these philosophical beacons not as relics of a bygone era, but as eternal echoes that resonate with a timeless quest for truth and meaning. In the grand narrative of human history, these ideas are not distant echoes, but living entities that continue to breathe life into our collective consciousness. Today, as we grapple with the complexities of a globalized world, these philosophical ideas are not confined to the annals of academia, but are embedded in the very DNA of our societies. The principles of democracy, the pursuit of knowledge, the ethical considerations in policymaking, all bear the imprints of these intellectual giants. We are inheritors of a legacy shaped by the relentless pursuit of understanding, the unwavering quest for justice, and the eternal struggle to find meaning in a vast and mysterious cosmos. The impact of these philosophical ideas is not a static relic, but a dynamic force that propels us forward, challenging us to question, explore, and redefine our place in the grand tapestry of existence. The echoes of Thales' ponderings, the Socratic dialogues, and the land ethic of Leopold continue to resonate, beckoning us to embark on our own odyssey of thought, discovery, and enlightenment.